The history of Ramadan. Muslims and non-Muslims alike recognize Ramadan as the most significant and holy time of the Islamic calendar. During the 9th month of the lunar year, Muslims around the world refrain from eating and drinking between sunrise and sunset, and they use their free time to recite the Quran and strengthen their bond with Allah. This is common knowledge for those within the Islamic community and those outside of it too, but few people actually know the history behind such a significant month. The beginning of Islam. To understand how Ramadan became such an important part of Islam, we need to go back to the very beginning, 610 AD, to be precise. This is the year during which an Arabian man by the name of Muhammad, peace be upon him, meditated in the cave of Hira, located in the Jabal an-Nur mountain close to Mecca. Whilst he was meditating, Muhammad, peace be upon him, was visited by the angel Jibril, who revealed the first words of what would later be known as the Quran. The angel told Muhammad, peace be upon him, that these words came directly from Allah and that He is the one and only God. At this time in Arabia, it was common for people to worship several different gods, but the angel told Muhammad, peace be upon him, that Allah was the only, all-knowing, true God. After revealing the first words of Allah, the angel commanded that Muhammad, peace be upon him, recite what he had just been shown. Muhammad, peace be upon him, couldn't read or write, but he was able to recite the words perfectly. It was explained to Muhammad, peace be upon him, that he was the final of the prophets Allah had sent to spread the teachings of the religion of Islam. The night the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, first saw the angel Jibril is known as laylathul, the night of power. Many Muslims believe this night occurred on the 27th night of the lunar year, which the Islamic calendar is based on, though some believe it occurred on any of the other odd nights in the final 10 days of the month. The revelations. Whilst some believe that all of Allah's teachings were revealed on laylathul, many believe that the Prophet Muhammad, our peace be upon him, was not shown all the teachings of Allah immediately, and instead he continued to receive revelations for a further 23 years following laylathul. Whichever train of thought you choose to follow, the principle behind the revelations remains the same. Allah laid out 5 core principles to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, which he said are the values all Muslims, followers of the words of Allah, must live their lives by. The 5 core values are known as the pillars of Islam, and they are Shahada. This is the first and arguably most important pillar because it is when a person declares their belief in the one true God, Allah Salat. Those who follow Islam must make every effort to pray 5 times every day in order to cement their dedication to Allah and strengthen their bond with Him. Zakat, one of Allah's key teachings, is that we must give charity to those less fortunate, and that is lamented in the 3rd pillar, known as Zakat. Psalm. This is the pillar from which Ramadan is derived, as it means to fast. Ramadan is observed by Muslims in order to target this pillar. Hajj. All able-bodied Muslims are expected to make at least one pilgrimage to Mecca, the location where the first words of Allah were revealed to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The origin of Ramadan. The school of thought you follow will depend on how long you believe the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, received the revelations, and this will also dictate the answer you believe to be true for the question of when did Ramadan start in history. Those who believe the revelations took place over 23 years are of the firm belief that the teachings of Psalm, and subsequently Ramadan, were revealed towards the latter half of that period of time, in around 622 AD, to be exact. At this time, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his followers lived in Medina after they faced fierce persecution in Mecca when they tried to spread the words of Allah. At this time, the weather was particularly hot, and this influenced the name of Ramadan when it was first revealed. Ramadan means burning heat, in an ode to the time of the year it was first revealed, and this time of year marries up with Laylathul, which happened some 12 years prior.